love, and welcome back to the show. I am so happy that you are here. It is Sunday, it is warm out, I feel amazing, and life is really good. And I want to bring that energy into this podcast and hopefully give you some of that energy as we dive into today's episode, which is about destination paralysis. Yes, I created that word up, so it's not a real thing, but what it means is sometimes we are so focused on the destination that we want to reach that we get lost in overthinking, that we lose sight of the destination, and we never get to experience the journey. And even though sometimes we do get to the destination, it takes us longer, but we miss the entire journey. Now, you can apply this to your personal life, to your professional life. Obviously, in this case, I am thinking more in the context of business, but truly when I think about it, I can think of so many times I was absent in the moment because I was thinking about the future moment. And I want to take a minute today to really assess how that is hurting you and your success and reaching those goals and just showing up. And the obvious is the fact that the present is all we have. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. So embracing this time now and enjoying it and being here in this moment is truly the most beautiful gift that we have. And sometimes we lose sight of that because we forget that in this human experience that we are enjoying and getting to have on this planet Earth, that we actually came here to serve and enjoy and to live and not just be on a constant mission to get to the next thing and get to the next thing and the next thing. And I see this a lot in business with my clients, but clients want so badly to make money, 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 money. And I was that way when I first launched. I had this idea before I ever launched because I got very lucky and made a lot of money straight out of the gate. But before I launched, it was just like, how can I make money fast? It was never, how can I enjoy this journey? And when I look back on all the nights that I stayed up because I had a job that I was working full time as I was building my business on the side, when I look back, it's the memories of the first time I ever recorded a podcast and designing my website and taking my own brand photos and all the things that really feel good to me. It's the place that I lived at the time. It's all the things, right? I can see it so vividly. It just all encompassing, just brings so much joy to my life. And it's because it was the journey of working a full-time job while I was doing this on the back end and staying up all night and really just couldn't wait to get off of work to come back to this side project, this beautiful thing that I was building. But then the second I launched, it was like, okay, now I need to make money. Instead of, okay, now I need to serve my community. And when we forget why we show up and we're so quick to want to get to a destination, we're not present. And it is so easy to launch a business and want to make money. Obviously, you need to be paid for your time, for your services, for your products. This is a transaction, right? But transaction is energy. And currency is essentially your prana, your life force. So when you think about these two things, you start to ask yourself, am I showing up every day for myself, or am I showing up every day for the people who I want to serve? And then you realize that 9 out of 10 times you're showing up for yourself, for your own purpose, your own result, your own goals. And that's where we're missing the mark. Because when you start from this place of love and compassion, and you build from that, and your sole mission is to show up and serve the dream client that you have, your target audience, and you live in that space and you're taking aligned actions toward that, and you're in this journey, you get to experience a community. You get to experience what involvement and co-creation looks like because you're building something bigger than yourself. But when you rush that process and you start to think 10 steps ahead, 20 steps, the future version of you, And I don't mean in the embodying of the future version and the manifestation. I mean when you are just like hyper fixated on, I want to make this number. And all you see in your mind is a number. And it no longer becomes a vision. There's no mission and vision anymore. It's just this number. You stop operating from alignment. You start going into this paralysis. You almost like become debilitated in the way that you don't have clarity. You don't feel your purpose anymore. You feel misaligned. You're lost. You experience burnout. And then you miss the entire journey. And so I guess in this destination paralysis episode, what I want you to realize is sometimes when you slow down to look at the less obvious things, you start to see the internal things that are missing. You start to fill your days with the things that need to actually be there. And when I say be there, I mean you start to hear the people who are speaking to you. There was a period in my life where I was building programs and all these people were DMing me, do you have a program for this? Do you have a program for this? I read their DMs and I responded. At the time, I had no programs. It never dawned on me when I decided to come into this coaching space and start building programs for my creative agency that I should build the programs that consistently keep getting DM'd to me. Everybody wanted to know the same thing. But did I build that? No. No, because I was stuck in this analysis paralysis. I was stuck in the destination. I couldn't experience the journey. I couldn't feel the things around me. I couldn't fill up my days with the people and the communications and the warmth and the companion and the community I could have been building. Because instead of having these conversations and building for the community and serving them, I was trying to reach my own goal. This almost self-fulfilling prophecy. But I had no clue that's what I was doing. Because simultaneously, I had a roster full of clients who I was serving every single day. So I thought I was serving people all day long. But there was this other community of beautiful souls who were messaging me, who were showing up and supporting me, asking for guidance. And I was completely neglecting them. And I wasn't obviously not responding. I definitely responded, but I could have responded more timely in that I could have built the program that they wanted sooner. I could have showed up with more sooner, but instead I was on my own mission to reach that number. And for me, it wasn't actually a number, but I'm using that as an example because a lot of us are on a mission to reach a specific milestone in our business that is monetary. We want to reach, $10,000 months, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Some people want to make multi six-figure months or even 1 million. So it's all about numbers. And that's why I use that example because every single business owner has to make money to sustain the business. And we are always thinking about money and projecting what that looks like. And sometimes we lose sight of the journey. It's funny when I look back on my journey, I think about how many hard days I had and the growth in the hard lessons. We will always remember the celebratory moments, right? We will always remember the milestones. They were great. But everything leading up to it, what it took, the discipline, the action, the commitment, the excitement, the energetics, the mindset, the regulation of your nervous system, the team of people if you have a team of people. All of that you cannot escape. You can't forget that part. That is the fundamental part of your journey. And this isn't necessarily a strategy or a mindset episode. This is more me coming on here and inspiring you not to miss the now, not to think so far into the future and not to be so hyper fixated on manifesting and building and shifting and changing and doing all of these things and materializing all of this. It's really about enjoying the present. I guess the more I do this personal development work and the more I build my business and the more I speak to my community, the more I feel fulfilled in that. And there is no dollar amount that you can put on conversations, on healing people, on helping people, build sustainability in their life, to build these thriving business. There's nothing in the world that feels as good to me. And that's how I know I'm where I'm meant to be. But for you, wherever you are, I want you to take a look at your destination and first see if it's even in alignment with what you want in your life. A lot of times we're in a hurry to get to a destination we don't even want. I know the first time someone said that, or they didn't say, actually, they asked me, do you want to be a millionaire? I had to think about it because intuitively, yes, of course, that's what my goal was. But when I got to the core of it, I remember crying to my mom one Christmas and saying, I don't want to be a millionaire. Like, this is hard. This is a lot more than I bargained for. And I'm not suggesting that I do or don't want to be a millionaire. Of course, I want to have great impact. I want to change lives. I want to do whatever. So whatever dollar amount that comes with. But I also know that my soul was put on this planet to be wildly successful. And it wasn't just $1 or $2 or $3 or $5, $10 million I wanted to make. It was a lot more. And that is because I know that where I am in my journey, that everything I'm doing is leading to that destination, that I'm embodying that person now, that I'm setting up opportunities to give abundance to other people with my destination. And that's what I want you to take away from this. My destination is to help people. I have clarity in the destination, so I can enjoy the journey now without having to look at the dollar amount, because I see the path, the vision of what the destination looks like and how I'm going to get there, and what that destination looks like for all the people around me who I can help, who I can serve, who I can give to. So for me, the destination is no longer a physical thing, a tangible thing, a material thing. It's more an emotion, an experience, a place that I want everybody in my life to feel and experience. And by experiencing all of the things I have to do to get to that destination, I will have completed my life's purpose. And that's what I really want you guys to do. I want you to realize that now is all we have. And if you are really in this burnout phase of your business where you are tired of showing up, you don't know if you have a strategy anymore because your strategy is no longer working, and you're starting to feel like you want to give up, or you want to throw in the towel, or when is it going to happen, or just, I can never work enough, which, by the way, you can never outwork burnout. That expression about, hustle mode, or I can't remember the exact expression I was going to use, but this like grind mentality, that only leads to dysregulation. That leads to a cracked foundation. So you can never outwork the problem. The problem will always be there. It doesn't have to look like burnout. It can be anything. So whatever it is you're chasing to get to the destination, you have to kind of reel it in and come back to the present and appreciate this space and heal any limiting beliefs that you have and clear any fears surrounding that thing. Because if you are starting with a cracked foundation, or if you are starting with limiting beliefs, or if you have something that you are trying to chase, you're never going to reach it. We're not chasing. That's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship and about the journey and about being present, is that when you're in that full body alignment that I talk about all the time, everything is attracted to you. You're never chasing. And so many of us at one point or another have lost sight of that, about that feeling. And if you could go back to the feeling you had when you launched your business, maybe you felt a little scared and apprehensive, but you also felt like, this is totally cool. I'm doing this. I'm going all in. I'm taking this risk on myself. This is exactly where I'm meant to be. Live in that feeling every day. Live in that safety and know that you will get to the destination. But first, you have to understand why you want that destination, what that destination means to you. Because without clarity, you're probably not going to be intently working toward that with those micro and macro goals that I've shared before. But more importantly, and what this entire episode is about, is you will miss the entire journey. And the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship, and my absolute favorite thing about entrepreneurship, other than serving, obviously, is the fact that you felt so strongly in your heart that you wanted to do this thing, that you did what most people never do, is you took a risk on yourself. You were brave, you were courageous, you showed up and you did the unlikely thing. Most people will make it to their last day of life and wish they had done what you did. Obviously, it doesn't mean that they all want to be entrepreneurs, but you took the risk to do something that you were passionate about. So if you're going to take that big of a leap, then you have to enjoy the journey. Don't just wait for the destination, really embrace the now, all the steps leading up to it. And even when it gets hard, reframe that failure, enjoy it, use that as a setup to the next thing. I am so, so, so happy that you are here, that you tuned into this. I hope this landed with you and it resonated with someone listening to this today, if not everyone listening to this. And I want to leave you with this. Nothing in the world is impossible. If it was placed in your heart, it is something internally that your soul is calling, and you should absolutely chase that. And when I say chase that, I mean that energy, that feeling, like keep flowing with that, because you're going to attract whatever your soul was meant to do through that. So thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one.